Hi guys, welcome to the review of Huawei Mate 50 Pro, so let's get started. This is the Mate 50 Pro's Huawei's current top flagship in camera phone. Basically among those being sold in Western markets, the Huawei flagships are known for the ability in the camera department. So how great are they this time around, and is the entire package enticing enough for Western users even without Google services? Let's find out in our Mate 50 Pro full review. This season there are at least 4 Mate 50 models coming out, but just this one will be available outside of China, the Mate 50 Pro. The Mate 50 Pro packs features like a premium durable design, a high-resolution OLED screen and a top-level chipset. But the real stars of the show are the cameras, which include a main camera with the most adjustable variable aperture we've seen on a phone with 10 steps to choose. From design-wise, the Mate 50 Pro takes lots of key elements from the past. Mate's a curved front with a notch, a curved faux leather back and a circular camera bump. We're happy to see the vegan leather again here, its soft and incredible grip. There is one neat new accent around the camera island and etched metal ring that surround the camera glass. The aluminum frame of the Mate 50 Pro is thin and glossy, which doesn't do a lot to help the grip. But the leather sort of balances that and the phone feels comfortable and sensibly easy to handle. The orange model is unique for some reasons. It's more durable than the other color choices. For one thing, you get Kunlun glass protection. The display, which Huawei says is 10 times tougher than whatever they use on the others, and while the Mate 50 Pro is IP68 resistance against dust and water. No matter the color, just the orange one has improved protection against water up to 6 meters in depth like the iPhones. We are not sure what is the reason to separate the features by color. Not everyone should purchase an orange phone. Let's talk about the display. It's a 6.74-inch OLED with curved glass, a quick 120Hz refresh rate and a high resolution of 1212 by 2616. This results in a sharper than usual pixel density of 428 ppi. You can also pick a dynamic resolution, which can dial down to save energy, or a straight up low resolution mode if you want. You also get option for the refresh rate. It can either be locked at 120 Hz and if you go into the dynamic mode, which can change itself. It can use 90 Hz while you're swiping and 120 provided that an app requests it. Unlike LTPO type panels, it can dial down lower than 60 Hz. When it comes to brightness, the Mate 50 Pro can reach about 570 nits maximum with a manual slider. When faced with bright light, it can boost up further to above 950 nits, decent in bright sun. Content looks great here. Obviously the blacks are super deep. Color accuracy is excellent and also support of 10-bit colors. There are a few issues as a result of software limitations. HDR is not available on famous streaming platforms. Also the YouTube app not run here. You'd need to use it in the browser, and get black bars. Basically this way you won't see the notch. The notch is wide and narrow and contains both the selfie camera and a TOF 3D scanner. For facial mapping, that means face unlock is properly secure and safe to use, and it's really quick as well. But you also have the choice to use fingerprint scanner for your biometrics. It's located under the display and is very responsive and reliable. For sound, the Mate 50 Pro has a couple of sound system speakers with the earpiece doubling as the second speaker. They scored a very excellent marks on our loudness test, and sound quality is great with nice treble, some bass. You can get the Mate 50 Pro with 256 or 512 GB of storage, and that is expandable. The interface of the phone is Huawei's most recent EMU 13, which based on Android 12. Rather than the typical in-house Kirin chipset this year, Huawei has gone with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. For the Mate 50 Pro, it's a special 4G version of the chip because Huawei is limited from making 5G capable phones with this chipset. You get the most powerful CPU and GPU available for Android phones right now, and benchmark scores are brilliant. When it comes to thermal management, the performance is like other powerful flagships, that is lackluster. The Mate 50 Pro showed heavy thermal throttling in our stress tests. The Mate 50 Pro has a bigger battery than last year at 4,700 mAh, and battery duration is perfect for the class, with an overall score of 104 hours in our proprietary test, and unlike many other flagships. You get a 66-watt quick charger in the box. With it, we had the option to charge the phone from 0 to 79% in 30 minutes. The Mate 50 Pro also support quick wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. We've saved the best for last, the cameras. The main camera, also called the Ultra Aperture X-Mage camera, has a 50-megapixel RIB sensor and a unique stabilized lens with a variable aperture. The main camera saves 12.5 megapixel pictures naturally, and during a bright day it pretty much stuck with a f2.0 aperture. The photos are outstanding. There's a lot of resolved detail, incredible looking colors, decent contrast and low noise. The dynamic range is excellent. The large 50-megapixel sensor is able to provide an excellent digital zoom as well. At 2x zoom, the photos are nearly pretty much as great as the native mode with no major loss of detail. The portrait mode on the Mate 50 Pros offers 1, 2 and 3x zoom levels, all from the main camera shots at the f1.4 aperture. The default 1x portraits are great with class-leading subject version, natural-looking detail, beautiful colors, no noise. The edge detection is almost wonderful. The 16-megapixel 3.5x zoom shots from the telephoto camera are great. They are well detailed with excellent rendition, high contrast, low noise and wide dynamic range. The colors are attached to the other two cameras. There's a 10x zoom switch on the viewfinder and because of the greater resolution sensor. These really are not too bad. There's a drop in sharpness and detail, but these shots are still good thinking about how much digital zoom is applied. Moving on to the ultra-wide camera, which is a bit of a mixed bag. There's an extra wide field of view, a lot of detail even in the corners, low noise and wide dynamic range. The colors rendition matches the main cameras as well. The selfie taken with the 13 megapixels front camera with 3 options for the field of view, but since apparently the sensor is really of larger resolution, the crops don't cause a major loss of quality. The selfies come out perfect with great exposure, lots of detail with a natural rendition and balanced sharpness. Noise is low and the colors look great and the dynamic range is wide as well. The Huawei Mate 50 Pros records video in up to 4K at 60 FPS with its cameras. Footage from the selfie camera is well stabilized. ISO is always on for all of the cameras except the telephoto. The subject here is well exposed and detailed, low noise, great contrast and wide dynamic range. So that is the Huawei Mate 50 Pro. It's a superb flagship all over with this premium and durable design, great OLED display, decent battery duration and quick charging and outstanding cameras. Even the interface works well. You don't have Google, where there are a lot of proprietary features and connectivity options, still the lack of Google services. Thanks for watching guys and see you on the next one.